The era of our generation, best known as Gen Z, began in 1997 with an agenda already set for the future. Famously known as the digital natives, we were born into a world of peak technological advancement where information was immediately accessible and social media increasingly ubiquitous. But it does not stop there. Our diversification and cultural acceptance has given us a strong sense of unity to fight for the common cause and to work for the greater good. But that's not to say that our generation has it easy and doesn't come with struggles. Every generation has its own cycle of adversities, and Gen Z has already started to face them. With the beginning and the onset of pandemic, it is most likely that this is going to be our field for the future. That's not to say that Gen Z is pessimistic. In fact, we are prepared for it as optimistic as ever. Now, one of the things that I like about our generation is that we're pragmatic and our financial thinking can break barriers. We will dedicate ourselves to the things that we're passionate about, and we sort of despise the 9 to 5 work hour week or that desk job that keeps on repeating in vicious cycles day after day, where people only look forward to weekends and are so burnt out that even just spending time in the office makes them seem like they've done work today. We together have an aim for choosing innovation over that burnout. So it is important that elders acknowledge that youngsters have been blessed with knowledge, just as how those very elders have been blessed with wisdom. Two very different things. Now, this leads to one of the misconceptions about our generation is that we're the luckiest generation. While that might seem plausible, we need to remember that every generation has its own share of struggles. Yet another misconception that there is about our generation is that we have low emotional quotient, that we are very disrespectful and very rigid. Now, this is far from the truth. We are accepting, we are empathetic to our peers, but at the same time, we know how to establish boundaries. Our parents from a young age have taught us to be flexible, to mold ourselves according to the expectations of others, at all costs to just to avoid conflict. And while it may have been reasonable for them to do so, it's not reasonable for us as the members of our generation to follow that very same thing or make that same mistake that our parents might have. To be able to say no to others is not being disrespectful, is to establish a clear dichotomy between the self and the other. If we accept others, I am 100% sure that we as well will be accepted. It is a hard journey to find our own identities and to know who we are and what we do. But it's also important to remember that the rest of the members of this generation are here for you as your community, supporting you every step along the way and giving the very respect that you deserve. Let's end this talk about Gen Z on a lighter note. Here are some facts which you may or may not know about us. Really depends on you as a person. Number one, most of the generation is interested in taking up artificial intelligence or virtual reality related prospects in the future. A lot of us are also aligned to having health career related professions, but that again depends on the person. Number two, a lot of us spend a lot of us spend our time on the internet. It's quite obvious, but it's the most cyber activities which we perform are gaming and Netflix. Now, number three, our social lives are online. This is again quite obvious, but what by this I mean is that our online friendships may or may not be more than our real friendships in this life. But the base of building strong friendships often happens online, and this holds true for most of the teenagers of this generation. Number four, the fear of missing out is very, very real due to the hyper awareness created by the social media and the internet. We constantly compare ourselves to other people. We see what they're doing. We want to do the very same thing. It's a whole anxiety reducing experience. So if you know how it feels, you know. Number five, we do not like bigoted people with a closed mind. By this, we mean that racial discrimination is not tolerated, using of slurs is not tolerated, having opinions which adversely affect others or harm others directly is also not appreciated. And when we do express our opinion, give us a chance to finish it because we are well versed with what we want to talk about. Now, the final fact is none of us really believe in stereotypes. Again, quite obvious, but I just want to elaborate on this. We do what makes us feel good. It's important to not make quick assumptions about anyone, be it a blue-haired teen or a person with piercings. Don't be too quick to judge on your feet for who they might be. Ask them what pronouns they're comfortable with and how they want to be addressed, and talk accordingly. That's it. No, that there were only six facts. I don't know why I did this, but thank you so much for listening about this Generation Z talk I've had with you. Thank you so much.